So there's a lot of things out there about what you need in the postpartum period. I found a lot of the items I didn't actually need. So I wanted to share some items that I felt like were really needed and things that people did not tell me about postpartum, like things that I would need, and I discovered as I went. I'm currently about 6 months postpartum, and these are the items that I actually really loved and used. The first one is a hair clip. Now, you might be like, I don't need a hair clip specifically. I'm gonna tell you specifically a hair clip because I was using a hair tie for like literally the past 6 months, and my hair started getting like one of those little creases because I'm wearing a hair tie every single day. Unless you have really short hair, you're gonna wanna put your hair out of your face eventually because babies just love to grab onto things. And my baby was grabbing on my hair right away. The second thing I would recommend are nursing pads. Even if you don't intend to nurse, I intended to nurse. I only nursed for about like 2 or 3 weeks. But you might still have milk come in and you might be leaking. And so nursing pads are really just helpful. I would wear them like literally all day, every single day. You can get the reusable ones as well, which I didn't get those because someone gifted me the disposable ones, but I think the reusable ones would be a great buy as well. The third thing that I would recommend to get postpartum, and this is really if there's any possibility that you might have a C-section, and that is like sweatpants, or if it's summer, the shorts that are like the elastic band kind of things. That can go high-waisted. And the reason for that is if you end up having a C-section, like I ended up having a C-section, did not expect it. I had no pants to go over my C-section scar. I thought I could just wear leggings. I didn't realize that leggings, like they're kind of tight, and I didn't really want anything tight around my scar. And so I ended up like immediately buying sweatpants that were kind of high-waisted. So these are kind of the ones I got. And I got these just off Amazon. I know a lot of moms postpartum end up wearing like a nursing gown or a robe, but sometimes it's nice to just have pants like when you're going out. And if you do have a C-section, I mean, it takes a while, like 6 weeks at least, for your scar to heal. And so I definitely recommend some sweatpants, honestly. The fourth thing I would recommend is some sort of anti-itch cream or Benadryl. So this is mostly if you think you're going to have anesthesia. So a lot of times people have reactions to anesthesia. This is something I did not think about beforehand, and I ended up getting super red all over my waist. And I know some women get red like in their legs and everything just postpartum after they had anesthesia. So that's like an epidural, or I also had an epidural and a spinal, and my skin reacted really badly to it. It didn't exactly itch, but they did recommend for me to take Benadryl. And even if you don't end up using anesthesia and have, redness or itchiness or anything postpartum, those things are just good to have in your medicine cabinet, like Benadryl and anti-itch cream. That leads me to my fifth recommendation, and that is just lotion for like super dry skin. Another reaction that I had to the anesthesia was just super dry, flaky skin, and I felt like that was really helpful in my healing from that redness. So again, if you end up having a reaction and you need the lotion or the anti-itch cream, like it's gonna help you. And if you don't need it, then these are just good things to have in your medicine cabinet. My sixth thing is not really a tangible item, but budget for new clothes. This is, I think, by far the thing that surprised me the most postpartum was how much my body changed. I didn't expect, I don't know what I was thinking. I think maybe I thought like, oh, 6 weeks later, like my body's gonna be fine. No. I am 6 months postpartum. It really hasn't gone back to normal. I still don't fit into my old pants. So I had to buy completely new pants. I had to buy completely new, basically everything. And not only that, my lifestyle kind of changed as well. And so I'm not really like going to work anymore. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I don't really need a bunch of like fancy business clothes. You know, my style before I had a baby, I felt like were a lot tighter clothes. And then postpartum, my body has just changed. I have a little bit of a C-section stomach. I don't really feel comfortable yet wearing super tight clothes. So I just had to completely buy everything all over again. I feel like that was just really surprising to me, that I didn't expect to have to budget for like basically an entirely new wardrobe. And the seventh thing that I would recommend getting are regular pads or liners. So a lot of people talk about the postpartum underwear. I think that's a nice to have thing. You know, I don't know if anybody's told you this, but whether you have a C-section or not, you're gonna bleed. And so you might need the postpartum underwear, you might not. Eventually the bleeding's gonna slow up. You're gonna need some pads or liners. I would recommend like maybe you could get heavy, regular, and then really light, just for, you don't know how long it's gonna last. And then here's some items that I think are nice to have, are not must-haves in my opinion, but they're just nice to have. The first one is Airpods or wireless headphones, because I didn't realize this at the beginning when my son was in the newborn phase, but you can be listening to podcasts and audiobooks while you rock your baby to sleep. If you are the kind of person who's like, I know I need to be present, then yeah, that's great. For me, I realized like, oh, I could be listening to a podcast as I'm rocking him and to sleep and feeding him at night. Like, I don't have to be in silence. Actually, I love this because I've actually started listening to so many audiobooks now, and I don't have like a ton of time to read and sit down, but I have time to listen to things and I don't want to disturb the baby. So I just pop on my AirPods when I'm putting my baby to sleep, and it has been really enjoyable. I feel like it's made me more enjoy those times. I'm not thinking like, oh, how long is this going to be? Like 30 minutes, an hour. I'm like, oh, I know I get to listen to an audiobook for this amount of time. Another thing that's, I think, nice to have, and this is probably a lot of women in their postpartum like must-haves, is a water bottle with a straw. I specifically say with the straw because I don't like the ones where you have to open it and then drink out of it, because I have spilled that a few times. So it's just a lot easier at night to have something with a straw that you can just drink. And especially if you're breastfeeding, you get really thirsty. So whether or not you're breastfeeding, you should still be drinking water. So definitely recommend a nice water bottle with a straw. And another thing that I think is nice to have, but not a necessity, is just like snacks for breastfeeding. If you do intend to breastfeed, I ended up again like only breastfeeding for 2 or 3 weeks, so I didn't really need all the snacks, but I did have some when I was breastfeeding, and they were really nice to have because you just get so hungry when you're breastfeeding. You don't really want to be eating like a ton of, I don't know, like super junk food. I feel like they try to make some of the snacks, I mean, some of the snacks are probably not healthy, but it makes you feel like they're healthy because they're specifically targeted towards breastfeeding. It's probably a marketing thing, but I liked them personally. And an item that I think is actually not needed postpartum is a pumping bra. This is something that I thought I was gonna need, and so I bought like immediately postpartum. And then I learned that you can actually do a pumping bra hack for nursing bras, that you don't have to get a specific pumping bra. And I actually preferred that to the pumping bras. And so I would recommend the nursing bras over the pumping bras, and then just doing like the pumping hack. I don't know exactly what it's called. So those are my postpartum must-haves. I hope this helps somebody out there who's about to go into that postpartum period. It's a crazy time, but it is short. So I hope you guys have a great video. What am I saying? I hope you guys have a great day. Okay, bye.